Oh, okay. So welcome to this episode. In this episode, we have two of our friends joining us.
What's the time now? 3
It's 3 p.m.
Yeah, 3 p.m. now. Misha left you. How are you? You should have taken this one actually. It was our red carpet. I mean white carpet.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of Baklava. In this episode, we have two guests, our friends Imane and Moncef, Algerian friends of us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna ask them some questions, both general questions and also some questions about
We'll have
their
two sections
experiences.
this time.
So as Turan was explaining, we have two sections. One section is like some general questions and getting their ideas, and then we move a bit more towards cultural topics. So my first question is pretty random actually. What is the most random thing you have Googled recently? Starting with Moncef.
Random thing. I don't know. I was checking the currency prices for what is it called? Dinar, Algerian dinar.
Okay.
And I've been comparing it with the official rate, like black market rate and official rate. I've been doing this pretty consistently. I don't know if this is random, but
That's not bad
No,
actually.
it's
not
not random though.
yeah.
Like random. You
Random.
don't do consistently. Like randomly pops up in your mind and you do it.
Honestly,
Check your phone. I think you check.
Yeah, Iman did
Yeah.
it. You can go for
It's
it.
very random. It was for a friend, but I googled the meaning of dreaming of your teeth falling out.
Okay.
that's not random for us.
That is very random, to be honest.
No, it's not random.
It is.
It
No,
is.
it's
It
not.
is.
He's scared of sharing what he's googling.
No, actually, no. Australia population.
Okay. I think you checked it in the trip with me.
I think
You were like questioning what's the population.
Heathrow flight frequency.
It was frequency. He has only random search with me only.
Yeah.
I'll also check. My
Okay.
phone is there. What was the
Yeah.
most random thing that I checked? Let me think. Do you have in your mind?
I should think actually. But I have like my Google here as well, so let me take a look.
I think Amit would be very intellectual.
No, it's probably some very basic stuff. Bear with me. If you have it in your mind, you can go ahead,
I don't
because
know.
I need to check the history.
I think I need to check as well. But it's on my phone and my phone is recording.
You don't have it on your computer.
No, I stopped Google activity.
Oh, okay. You're afraid of being tracked.
Yeah, I had bad experience with it.
Yeah, okay. I see.
What happened?
We were
That
having
is a story we have to
we
hear.
were having exam in my bachelor's degree. It was the third year, and then it was online exam. So we were taking it as open book, but it wasn't open book, and I was checking from my phone. Okay, and this shitty Google apparently was taking all the history from all the devices. Like if you use your tablet in the same account, it takes, even when you go to Telegram, for example, it takes the activity that you entered Telegram.
Whoa.
So they checked my Google activity in the exam, and I was kicked out.
Oh,
Since that day, I never use Google activity. It's
Wow.
very shitty. But it's crazy that they're taking the
That's a
history from...
spyware.
Yeah, exactly. Like Telegram, I entered WhatsApp. I was using Android phone. It's taking every log that you have there and takes it to Google activity. I only have one story history. It's for only YouTube that I randomly going back to check like what I have in the history.
Yeah, I see.
okay. I took a look, and it's like the most recent random stuff are lyrics of two random songs like that came to my mind in the middle of the night. Believe it or not, like 2 a.m. I was thinking, okay, what was the part of that lyric? And I started searching it. Yeah.
I think it happened to me. Like I have many random checks. So my friend texted to the group. Do you think that there is a relation between the word in English mirt, like joy, and murt in Azerbaijani? It's also meaning like a joke, make fun. Murt vurma, we say it like that. And I was checking their etymology.
Okay.
That was the
Nice.
last random thing. I checked it in the morning.
Intellectual random
Yeah.
searches.
Nothing like
No, I
falling
do it
out.
like anyway. It's not intellectual. It's just interesting. Okay. What's guilty pleasure you are not really guilty about?
What guilty pleasure?
I would say going down rabbit holes of the most random things, like the proof of why the Earth is flat or not, or are we living in multi-dimensions or not?
Bro.
Oh, that one is
Interesting.
that one is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Moncef?
Actually, I don't have any pleasures lately. I can't think of anything.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't smoke. I couldn't tell you I smoke.
Such an innocent and good
Yeah.
guy. I like him.
I mean, I play games, if that counts.
Okay.
Video games.
Yeah, it's not bad. How about you?
I don't know. I don't have guilty pleasure.
You
I
smoke.
sometimes watch so many series.
Oh man, let's not get into that.
And I
one
think I
season.
take so much time there.
Come on.
And I'm using my monitor more on watching series and movies than using it for
Good
my homework.
investment.
Yeah, I'm telling it's good investment. Yeah, maybe it's the one.
Similar. For me, it's similar as well. Like YouTube and also even sometimes reading, like about stuff that are totally random and unrelated to you. Why do you spend time there? But on the other side, you enjoy it. So it's kind of okay. But to be honest, our answers were very like pasteurized, I'd say.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of them were actually.
Boring.
Yeah, none of
Okay,
them.
okay. Next.
Anyways,
Sorry.
what's your go-to karaoke song?
Mirrors by Justin Timberlake.
Okay, I don't remember lyrics.
If we didn't have copyright, we would put it in the background. But we have copyright.
True.
Really, you are affected by copyright even as a small content creator.
Yeah.
Of course.
Actually, there's some like fair use policies, but I'm not sure.
I had
Maybe 5 seconds.
small YouTube channel from 2011, I think. I put one song and the lyrics of it. I edited the video and put there.
Whoa.
Suddenly I got copyright.
Really?
Yeah.
Even like if you have a couple of 100 views, you'd be taken down.
I didn't have any views.
Wow.
And even you upload the video to and you don't publish it, it gets copyright even there. So you don't need to even publish it.
Okay. Okay. So what was the question?
What's your go-to karaoke song?
I don't do karaoke. But, oh.
Yeah, I was actually expecting that from
Yeah.
Moncef.
Yeah, I don't
He's
do
not
karaoke.
into karaoke.
I've
What
never
do you
done-
sing
Yeah.
I've
when
never
you're
done-
just like living life? What do you
Oh,
sing?
I'm not answering.
Oh, okay. That's even more interesting.
I think that's Algerian song.
Probably.
Yeah. Obviously, but last time I was singing when we were in the car. Remember on the trip? What was it? What
Well,
was
in
it?
Lofoten.
Yeah.
Cupid.
Yeah. That one is fun to sing.
You should insert the video here.
For me, it's Bohemian Rhapsody. I love that song.
Okay, for me, it's
It's very hard to sing as well.
Yeah. La, la, la.
It's Believer by Imagine Dragons. I
Okay.
really like that
Ooh,
song.
that's a
Yeah.
good one
It's
as
very
well.
high energy.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Okay, what's a fictional character you relate to?
I relate to.
You see yourself as the character, or you like understand the character's logic, for example,
Understand the logic.
or you like
yeah,
relate to.
I can say that one. Yeah. Aaron Yeager. Attack on
Okay,
Titan.
from the
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
can understand the character.
you understand the end of the character as well, like the
Yes.
end of the arc.
Yes,
Okay.
it was a. I mean, for me, it was like something that was bound to happen
Interesting.
without spoiling.
Okay, I like that he's aware of the spoiling part. Yeah. What about you, Iman?
I don't know. There's so many coming to my mind, but
So many. Wow, that's good. That's a good problem to have. For me, it's just one.
Really?
please go ahead.
Spider-Man. I just like the guy. I understand that like going through the different parts through some web of stuff, which
Which-
is like very reasonable for me.
Which Spider-Man the movies?
The ones that were like published, the original series, I think, that were published early
2000s. Yeah, that one is cool.
Those
But
were good.
if we're talking about Spider-Man, the best one for me is the one from the original comics. It's actually more complex than what we have in the movie.
You mean the TV series or the
No,
animation?
no,
Because
actually
there's-
comics. The
Oh,
comic
okay,
books.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
Spider-Man is really fascinating.
I don't know. I don't have any idea actually. But maybe John Watson from Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, Sherlock, yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
think I
awesome.
can relate to that.
Okay,
That's also a good one, yeah. Okay.
come on, give us an answer then.
I wouldn't particularly say relate to, but understanding the arc and the personal development would be John. What was his name? From Breaking Bad.
Who?
Breaking Bad.
Which one of them?
The main character. My brain has farted
Okay.
right now.
Heisenberg. You mean Heisenberg?
Yes,
I
exactly.
don't remember his
Heisenberg.
name.
I mean Heisenberg, not Walter White.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like the development of how he went from a normal everyday guy to actually going and confronting the deepest part of himself and knowing actually what he's capable of. I really liked how the character development went.
Yeah, I think one of the best things about Breaking Bad is how fast they develop the character in the first episode, and it's still relatable. Like the thing that the guy does in one episode, it's like unbelievable, but at the same time you believe it. So that's a very good character development.
Next question.
What's the best meal you've ever had?
The best what?
Meal.
Meal. Oh, well, I mean, for me, it's gonna be either shakshuka or rishta. There's no contestant.
But the
for me.
context of the meal.
Like the meal itself,
Yeah,
like
meal.
the whole in an event or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every rishta is the best rishta.
We also have Arishta, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
No,
I
I
don't know
think
if
it's
it's the
the
same
No,
or
you
not.
don't.
But it's like duff, it's like pasta, and you make it in
okay.
a soup.
That's Iranian, definitely.
It's Azerbaijani, guys.
It's not
Again.
a soup.
They
It's
call
not-
that a
but
soup. They
we
do
have-
call that. We call it marqa. They call it a soup.
Yeah.
So
What?
it's a soup for me.
Oh.
What?
It's like noodles.
Yeah, it's like noodles.
Mhm.
But I don't like it.
It's
It's
not the
for us
same.
winter.
What's the color like? It's like a
Oh.
dark green.
No, it's white noodles.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
different. For us, it's
It's,
mostly
uh,
with
But
the
we add
darker
some
green.
sour, some dried fruits as well to that.
No.
No.
We have
Okay,
this as
it's
well.
vegetables for us. Or shakshuka. Shakshuka is the best for me.
Mhm.
Probably not for Iman, but for me.
Yeah. For me, the best meal I've ever had in my life would be when I was studying in the capital, which is like far from our house, and I didn't go to like visit my parents or anything for I think 3 weeks, and it was summer, and I missed watermelon so much because I didn't have a fridge. And I missed watermelon so much, and I remember talking with my parents, and I was like, yeah, I miss watermelon, and I'm running out of olive oil, which is like a big cultural symbol for us. And the next day, they call me and they're like, can you come out? We're here. And they brought me the watermelon, which was like in a cooler, and it was the best watermelon of my life.
sweet.
And they brought me as well my favorite food, which is couscous. That was the best meal I've ever had in my life.
That's sweet.
Okay, interesting. For me, it's probably, as Moncef said, korma sabzi, which is like an Iranian traditional dish in any condition. I love it.
So
But I have some other runner-ups. The most like important one is korma sabzi. There are a lot of other things that are like so.
For me, when I was in high school, when I was coming back from school, and when I enter to home, I open the door and there is a smell coming, and I know that it's dishbara. And my mom prepared it for me, and she's very excited to say that, okay, we have dishbara for tonight. It's winter, it's dark outside, and I eat that dishbara. It's the best thing. And then nothing can, and I put some yogurt on it.
What are the ingredients? Is it like?
It's like dumplings.
Okay.
I was gonna ask if it's the same as dobara for us, but
I don't think
He
so.
was so excited. His
Yeah.
eyes was like,
Do you really think he's gonna like something like that?
yeah, probably.
what's that?
I don't know how to describe it. Even I don't like it.
Just
No,
the
you should.
ingredients. You don't
What?
need to say the form.
I don't know the ingredients. Probably Iman knows. Let me check.
It's a lot of dried yams, like dried yams, like lentils,
Okay.
fev. How do you say fev?
Fev, I don't know. Let me check.
It's a lot of dried yams.
Yeah, it looks like this.
It's like a stew or soup.
Not necessarily. I mean, honestly, I rarely eat it. I just
I
don't
see
like
it.
Yeah. It's like this.
Oh, okay. So, have you ever had a funny misunderstanding in another language?
Oh, it happened recently. What were we doing?
Well, I don't know.
We were playing FIFA, right?
Uh huh.
goal average. Goal average. Oh yeah, the realization. That was great.
Yeah,
they
your
were like,
face when you
we
realized
were
that.
playing in groups, right? And
Yeah,
we were saying, so what's the goal average?
I said goal average.
And I just stopped for like 5 minutes by myself in the back, and I'm thinking, I'm like, goal average. That's what you call goal average.
Yeah,
That was a crazy moment for me.
That's good. Imane, do you have anything in mind?
I think it's more of people not relating to the sarcasm. Like last time, I was talking with the cashier, and she was like, she had a mistake in the machine, and I was like, I cannot pay if you don't want me to, which was sarcastic. But she was like, no, please pay.
Oh, you
I
don't
was
do
like,
that in
yeah, I
Sweden.
don't mean it as I'm not
did it happen in
paying.
Sweden?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Don't do that in Sweden.
I felt bad because she didn't understand, and I felt the barrier of communication.
Yeah, it's a famous thing. They say the first thing that you lose when you move to a new language is sarcasm and
Yeah.
comedy. Definitely.
True. I don't have something in my mind actually. Go ahead.
Misunderstanding in another language. Yeah, I can't think of anything specific as well. What's a hobby or interest that people wouldn't expect from you?
For me, I mean, I recently switched to, not recently, but for over the last year, I've been going more to the gym and doing more sports stuff, which was maybe unexpected for me for the last couple of years.
Actually, that's not unexpected from you. Like,
I mean, you know me
it
since
fits your character.
you know me since like a year and a half. Before that,
That's also true.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Every character has a past.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I didn't know that, for example, you could go to karate, and you were like,
Oh yeah, I
in-
did go to karate for a long time.
Yeah.
When I was younger,
Oh, for how many years?
like 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, I was a brown belt, and then I just stopped because
That's
of
really
Wow.
like surprising for me.
Mm.
It's different.
Yeah, actually, that surprises me as well now. Thinking about it.
Nice.
The hobby that would be the weirdest, I would say, for me is reading about serial killers and about cult leaders.
Okay.
Apparently, it's super common among girls.
I don't know why.
Recently, I
like,
don't know why.
I
yeah.
cannot explain why, or I haven't met that many girls that are into this as much as I am. But speaking from my own experience, I read this by fascination of how the human brain works.
Like true crime stuff.
Yeah.
And podcasts as well.
Uh-huh.
I was into that for like 2-3 years ago. I was listening to a podcast like all the time about it. What was the name?
Yeah, for me, it's the fascination of how the human brain can go so wrong, or can degenerate that much, and how far a human brain can go. It's scary and fascinating at the same time.
I actually was into like true crime stuff, but mostly like documentaries and stuff. Right now, the podcasts are very big. Like I know there are a lot of podcasts, and they're in
Yeah.
top 50, all of them.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of podcasts that uncover cold cases and that help resolve those cases. Those ones are interesting as well.
Like they do the investigations themselves.
Yeah, and they have like people reaching out. Like I had this relative, I had this, and it actually helps develop and it helps the law order.
That's really cool.
For me, I started watching plane crashes. It's a
Oh,
bit
yeah.
weird.
That is more twisted than what I just said.
It's not. I don't know. I think it's unexpected, most unexpected one. Well, I love documentaries like about the plane crashes. Their technical stuff, and not only technical stuff, but the background, and the actors try to make it live for that moment before the crash and what happened that time. And if they're alive after that, and they're showing the actual pilots, you know.
So what is your favorite plane crash?
Favorite?
I don't have favorite plane
I
crash.
actually have
but-
one.
He's
You
very
explained
passionate.
one to me, and you were very passionate about it. You're like,
Bro.
this is the most
No, I
interesting
explained
one
many
I've
of
seen.
them. I was
Last
very
week
passionate.
we had like 4 flights together, and every time we're flying, he's explaining how it can go wrong at every minute. And you have like an old lady looking at him like, like yeah, so maybe the wings are not gonna work out properly, and then we made fall on the
I
seat.
actually saw some people were looking at me weirdly. Yeah, I don't know. For me, not fascinating, but it's also the biggest airplane crash. It happened in Tenerife, and there was a word there. It's very weird that the biggest airplane crash of the world happened on the ground. So yeah, it was interesting. part episode for that documentary?
Okay. For me, maybe it's like I'm very interested in theater and also dance, and I like did a short time like theater acting. So that's something that people usually find it's different from what they expect. That's
After,
the main thing. Yeah.
after this episode, can we please watch your theater acting?
Maybe. I might have some
I
recordings.
would love to.
Yeah, maybe.
That is very unexpected
Let's
of you.
Okay. What's a small thing that always makes you happy? I know for you it's chocolate.
I was gonna say that.
I took it already.
Yeah, it's chocolate. You said it already.
Sunsets and sunrises.
Okay, that's why you always go out for
Yeah.
seeing that.
That's why I'm always out
Yeah.
by sunset.
Yeah, now you have to always be out to see the sunset and the sunrise. You see them at once, like, okay, that's the
One
sunrise.
sunset.
That's the sunset now.
No, if you see sun, it's either sunrise or
It's
sunset.
both at the same time.
Nice. For me, I'll go back to. I think I was asked this question when I was home, and I answered this question as hingal. When I have hingal, I'm happy. You know, like it can make me happy very quickly. And the people that when you are having hingal with your friends and family, it makes you like feel happier, I think.
Okay. For me, one of them is probably like talking with friends. Like when you have a long discussion with friends, it's really refreshing. And another one is listening to music in high quality. Like I have this pair of headphones that I use them rarely. Like it's an Audio Technica thing, and I bought it specifically to like listen to music in high res.
Oh.
And when I have like some time and I can get like some high quality music and I start listening, it's very good. Like it changes my mood almost instantly.
So you're one of those guys, because I don't have that ear for music. Like there some people get specific how do you say, like items or
detail.
tools just to listen to specific types of music or whatever.
To be honest, my ear is not trained. Like it's not like something that I have worked on professionally, but I really enjoyed the details, and especially with like jazz and stuff like that. It's very beautiful.
Because last time I was reading like on Reddit that some people, like, you buy specific stuff, like if you like bass music that's based a lot on bass, you'd buy some specific stuff and etc.
Yeah.
But I don't get it.
And some people are crazy about those things. They understand the smallest differences in frequency ranges and stuff. I'm not like that. I'm just like a casual learner. And finally, what's a movie or show you can watch over and over?
Over and over. Iman?
Do you have any show like that?
Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of One Piece, the manga. But I wouldn't say I'd watch it over and over since it's so long.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
I think for me it would be The Simpsons. It's like my comfort show.
Okay.
I love Homer Simpson. I love the characters, and it's just a comfort, easy show for me to watch.
Okay. Go ahead, Ron.
I think it will be repetition, but I would watch Sherlock again because when you watch it again, you see that okay, there was something additional that you missed there as well, because it's on details and it's interesting to watch it again for checking the details again. But it's still like a show. Maybe I am not gonna watch it again, but it would if I am watching again in a show that I watched before, it will be Sherlock.
Oh yeah, that could be said as well about Attack on Titan again. Apparently, it changes completely if you rewatch it after finishing.
Yeah,
because
very
a lot
much.
of details are revealed.
To be honest, I'm not very used to like rewatching neither shows nor like movies.
But if you would watch,
But I have watched one movie like 3 times, I think, and it's like an Iranian movie called Fish and Cat, I believe. Yeah, Fish and Cat. It's like a complex movie. Like the whole movie is taken in one shot. Like the camera is not turned off, so it's very complex to understand, and you change perspectives constantly.
by the way, I've watched Home Alone many times, like 100 times maybe. Every Christmas year it was on TV. I was just watching when I was a child. Home Alone is the best, I think.
Interesting. I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most popular movies to watch every year near
Yeah,
Christmas.
exactly.
Probably.
The last question for this section.
We're done with this section.
Oh, we're done. Okay,
Yes.
nice. Thank you
You
for
guys.
this section first.
Let's go.
See you in the second section. There as well?
Mm-hmm.
عدنا.
عدنا.
What's
You just put it there. It's a reference.
سنعود بعد قليل.
No.
عدنا.
عدنا. Let's do it at the same time.
Okay, which one?
عدنا.
Okay.
Look at the camera. Wait.
But how do we know?
Yeah, we have
Okay,
to have a
okay.
cue. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
عدنا. It just means we're back.
Wakanda.
Basically. عدنا.
So I know that in Algeria you have like Kabylis, and it's kind of different language that they have. It's local language. And do you have cultural differences between Kabylis and rest of Algerians?
Okay. I think I can start answering, and then Iman gives her more thorough point of view.
Mhm.
We don't have like it's Kabyl, like Qaba'il, which means like the tribes,
Mhm.
and basically they're the original people of North Africa are Amazigh, and there are many groups. I think I sent you a video about it once.
Yeah.
And you have like, for example, in Morocco you have Shloh, and in Algeria you have many. You have Kabyls, you have Shawis, and what are they called in the south? When you have Tuareg, you have a lot of people, and they all have like their own variation of the languages, and they're. I don't speak any of them, but they're quite similar. And now they're trying to regroup them under the name Amazigh. But you'll find a lot of differences between the languages. I think Kabyls have their own variations, Shawis as well. And yeah, that also implies some differences in cultures, some celebrations that are different. But overall, I wouldn't say that there are like big differences between everyone. Like everybody knows everybody's events and celebrations. Yeah,
Do
that's
you
what
have
I'm saying.
additions?
I would more say that all Algerians are Amazigh in a way that we are all native to North Africa. The difference is that some regions are more are still hanging on to the traditions or the language mostly of that region. So we have in the south we have Tuareg that are like still nomads. They are literal nomads. They go from place to place, and they have their own traditions, and they have their own celebrations pre-Arab conquerors and pre-religions, and they still do that. But in the north, it's a bit more unified in a sense where most now speak Arabic as the first language, except for some regions that are holding on to the Amazigh language and the tradition as well. And what I find is that because I am coming from there and studying where they are talking in Arabic, where people talk in Arabic, I find that Kabyls are more they like their identity, and we are a very proud, a very proud population for our identity. I think it's like the Kurdish. We have, there is a lot of political differences among people, but mostly everyone is proud to call themselves an Amazigh. And if you ask someone from our region, they would be like, I am Algerian, but I am Amazigh as well. So the identity and the cultural differences are not that felt. But when it comes to interacting with people and everything, Amazighs are very, very, very proud of their identity. And that's why I feel like we still have some festivals that have been before. We still have a lot of records that are being written now of the history of the region since the time where pharaohs were there. So since Cleopatra's time and everything, there is historical records of that. And yeah, it's a lot of identity, a lot of richness in identity, and a lot of pride in that.
I actually had a question when you said like Kabyl means Qabail, right?
Yes.
So I know like a little bit of Arabic, it's not much. And I think Qabail translates to tribes in English, right?
Yes, I said.
So my question would be, are they like not a uniform group of people? So they are like different tribes that they are described as Kabyl?
So I was reading about like the history of North Africa, and basically before getting the first like kingdom, if you want, which is like Numidia.
Yeah.
before it was like mainly just tribes across all of North Africa. So everyone had their own language, culture, and different. I mean, they were similar to each other, but everybody had their. I think it's quite similar to what's still happening today in sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah.
And probably the name was given by Arabs. Kabyle
Yes.
name. It wasn't
Yes.
their own.
Actually, I
name.
was looking for like the previous name, what they were calling it before that, but I couldn't find anything.
They were called Amazigh. The whole like region was
Yes.
called Amazigh.
Everybody was Amazigh,
Yeah.
like until we get to Morocco, it's all the same.
And I just realized that we also call Kabyle for tribe in Azerbaijani.
Yes.
The same in Persian. That's why like.
Mhm.
And it's
remember
mostly you can think of it as as in North America, as the tribes in North America.
Yes, basically.
They all have the same base, but they're
Oh,
different tribes with different
Yeah,
ways.
we all call them like indigenous, like
Yeah.
American
Yeah,
Indians,
exactly.
but they were all very different. Like you had,
Sure.
I think that's kind of similar.
Interesting. So the next question is, what is the best experience that you've had in your home city? It's gonna be Algiers for you.
Yeah, best experience in
For you
Algiers.
too, right?
No.
It's not gonna be Algiers.
Best experience in
The
Algiers.
city guy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I can't have a best experience in Algiers. Maybe probably get into the airport. Just kidding. Actually, like going to Algiers, like central Algiers at night can be such a vibe. Actually, if you visit it.
Yeah, I remember your Instagram photos. It was
Oh, yeah.
quite a vibe. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
really
very
cool.
I remember
You know
the
what-
video that you sent us when we were in UK, and then you sent us video that it's not cold and there is sun.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
clear sky. I'll put that there.
Yeah, it can have a really good vibe. Like as much as it can be bad sometimes, like the traffic and all of that can be like a real headache. But if you know where to go and when to go, it can be a real good vibe.
How about you, Iman?
For me, I lived my childhood in a more quiet, I wasn't in the capital, in a more quiet town, which is called Iwadayin. And maybe one of my best memories would be in the period where we have, so I told you, olive oil is a big culture for us. And everyone, or almost everyone in the country has land where they have olive trees.
Mhm.
And there is a season where the whole or everyone goes and they gather the olive to make the olive oil, and it's a whole cultural thing. And one of my best memories would be to go there with my grandparents when they were healthy enough to go, and to collect that, well, to play collect, because I wasn't being that productive, but it was really, and we would make, my grandfather would make a fire and we would gather to eat whatever we bring for lunch, and it was really beautiful memories.
I also did that. Like I used to go with my grandma, and we used to collect the olives. Yeah, it's really cool. It can be dangerous sometimes, but it's really cool.
How can it be dangerous? Is it like
I wasn't allowed to climb on trees.
You need to climb on trees, but not only that. That's the cool part actually. The worst part is that you can slip and end up on the end of the, what is it called? Like ravin. Raven? No.
A hill.
Yeah, there you can just fall off the hill and you
so
die.
the trees are usually on top of the hills?
Sometimes
It's in the
it's
mountains.
steep. Sometimes
It's very
the land
steep and
is
slippery.
steep and you just
Okay.
At least in our
But
region.
it's a nice experience.
yeah, it's really nice.
Okay.
We have a special question from
Yeah.
Moncef now.
I
Mhm.
have a very short question.
Yeah.
Do you feel ashamed not to know Kabyle?
Hey, come on, man. So I wish I spoke Kabyle, but as I said before, my mom is not Kabyle. My father is, but you generally just learn from your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up in Algiers, where you don't really need to speak it to go around.
So you don't. Okay,
Yeah.
next question.
Did you guys feel any cultural shocks, or I think you probably have definitely felt in Europe, and if it's been like as big of a shock, or because of social media and like your familiarity with other countries, it was mostly type of thing that you expected?
Man, I mean, I expected most of it, I think, but living it is different, I think. You still feel the culture shock, even though you knew what was coming. I think I told you that anecdote once when I was coming back from Algiers. I was going to London, and it was crazy, like the difference. I was in Algiers, like traffic all the way to the airport, and then problems to get to the plane. and then I get to London. I drop off in Heathrow, and I don't see the sun until I'm out. Like I go directly to the subway, and when I'm out, I'm facing directly to Big Ben, and like the vibe is completely changed. I thought I changed the dimensions. Everybody was happy. It looked good. That was a culture shock, and that was the second time going back.
Mm-hmm. For you?
Yeah, I think because we started from France,
Mm-hmm.
it was a nice introduction because I wasn't that shocked. First of all, the language was familiar. I had previously traveled to France, so like I kind of expected what to see, and yeah, but it still felt a bit shocking, but not as much as if I came to Sweden directly. That would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I
That
cannot
would-
imagine that.
that would have been very shocking.
Yeah, even
How about
for
you,
me, I
Turan?
think. I didn't. I've been before this Erasmus. Like I've been to Erasmus in Greece. Greece is a Balkan country. It's very close. The food is very close. The only thing was, I mean, I didn't have that much of big culture shock. What culture shock I had, maybe I can say, there were so many graffitis. I wasn't expecting that. We don't have any graffiti in Baku, like in maybe small streets. And when we just arrived to Athens, we were like with all of the luggage. We entered the subway and we're about to go. We're trying to find a way, and we didn't have internet. I was with another Azerbaijani guy, my friend. And then we just looked up. It's like subway, but it's the wall in the background in Athens, and it was full of graffiti. And then the train come, it was also full graffiti. The train itself. I mean, I was shocked.
Where have we seen that? I think in France there's a lot of graffitis as well, no?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
Especially
But
in
not
Paris.
like in
Yeah, okay.
Athens, not like in Athens.
Okay.
It's something different.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Paris is crazy.
But-
France generally has a lot of graphics, and Paris
but-
has.
Guys, you should see Athens. Athens is different. It's like the political views of them, and they're, I think, more leftist part, and they do many
Whoa.
graffitis everywhere.
Okay.
I'm telling you, even the trains, like they have 3 types of trains there, as I remember. One was for the rich sides of the Athens, and one was like going for the sides of Athens. And those trains, it's like subway, but it was whole graffiti. The train, it looked on the train, it looks cool, but on the wall, it looked for me as dirty. So it was culture shock. And I had the second culture shock when I moved. I was traveling from Athens to Milan. I was like, okay, that's different Europe. The vibe there, like the people, the fashion that they have there, the cathedrals. It was very big, huge cathedrals, and yeah, it was different for me. Yeah, that's what I can say. What about you?
Nothing major, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Coming from Iran to here and you didn't see any difference?
No, because as we mentioned, like the social media and like being brought up with the Western culture in most part, like your exposure is very much to the Western culture. So
Yeah, I
not
see.
much that they. Maybe the smoking was a bit interesting for me in France. Like I didn't expect people to smoke that much in France, but it was something that was unexpected for me. But the rest, I don't think so.
I don't know the many contexts about that, but I know that there is Arabic that everyone learns, but there is no native Arabic speakers. There are so many accents.
Yes.
So, do you think that it would be better to have Algerian alphabet written Algerian that people speak, and to have a uniform Algerian language so that it brings all the regions coming together and make it easier in the education? For example, there is one person coming from a region of Algeria to learn mathematics or physics, and they're getting in Arabic, right? But Arabic is not their language that they speak. It's very similar, as I understand, but you can, if I'm mistaken, fix me. Yeah, what do you think about that? Do you think that should be taught in schools, like a uniform written Algerian language?
Actually, like language is a big problem in Algeria. Everybody has their own opinion about it. But actually, also everybody learns the literal Arabic. So at school, when we are 5 or 6, we get to school and we start learning Arabic from the beginning. So we don't have problems like doing mathematics with it or whatever. The problem is like you finish your high school and you go to uni, and then everything is in French. And some people don't speak French. And you have to keep up advanced mathematical concepts, physics, whatever, and you have to do that in French. And then now some people want to switch it to English. And it's like a huge mess. But I don't think that's like unifying it under one Algerian language would be pertinent. because we understand each other. Everybody understands each other. Like I can go to the west and they speak a bit differently than me, but I can understand them. And same goes if I go to the east.
Yeah, it's not different from Arabic, right? That
Everybody
much.
just pronounces things differently,
Okay.
like, and maybe you use some different words for some things, but I can still understand you like without any problem.
Yeah. I mean, to put things into context, the language thing in Algeria needs to be understood from two things: from a historical point of view and from a geographical point of view. So the historical thing is that we have been colonized by a lot. So from Oran's side, we were colonized by the Spanish. There was the Spanish people in our territories for quite a while. Of course, there is the Ottoman Empire, which brought Turkish language. There was the first Arab conquerors. There is the native people that speak Amazigh, and there is the French, among other conquerors that came to the region and that helped shape how the region was. And because Algeria is such a big country, it's not like big in a European scale. It's big in a worldly scale. So the people that are from the south are so far from the north that they are basically in another country.
Yeah.
I don't mean politically or by law, but culturally, you can see them as completely different people from the north.
Actually.
That's why the language is different, and saying to unify it would be actually a loss, because if you unify it, you would lose all the specificities of each region and each culture, and as well it would contribute to the loss of language, because we speak Arabic combined with French, combined sometimes with English in our generation, and that makes actually the language fall down more than win something through it. But of course, like Moncef said, we all understand each other and we all know each other, or we know how we talk with each other. And yeah, the interesting thing is that an Algerian, when they go to school, they learn the language basically from the start, unless you have like your parents that were like attentive to this or anything. Because for me, before going to school, my parents were talking to me in French and in Kabyle. I didn't know Arabic until I went to school at the age of 5, and I started learning the Arabic alphabet and everything. So Arabic was basically the third language that I had in my brain.
Interesting.
A lot of people do that in Kabyle, like, because they know, like, they'll be like, the child is gonna learn Arabic anyway in school, so might just as well teach him other languages in the meanwhile.
Was it the same for you as well?
But for me, it was like mainly our Arabic, Algerian Arabic, and French. That's what I learned before. So, and then when you get to school, you need to learn the actual, like, literal Arabic, and that's a bit different for us. Like, if that was an interesting point I saw once, I don't remember where, but it can be a problem as well. For example, if you're in France, a child in France, and you're growing up, they show you on the TV like a lion, and they say, look, this is a lion, right? And you go to school, and that's still a lion. Yeah. But for us, you're a child, and you watch on TV, and they tell you this is Sba. Yeah. And then you go to school, and it's called Asad. And you have to, like, to remember all the differences between the actual literal Arabic and what you're taught as outside. Yeah. So that's why sometimes I like to say that it's two different languages. Yeah. It's quite different.
But from a neuroplasticity point of view, that was a big advantage we had as children.
Your mind becomes quite flexible, like, to understand different languages.
Yeah, I can see when you're speaking in different languages, you can switch very easily. Like, even when I switch to speak in Turkish, my brain is like very...
And the switching is very easy for us because of that, I think, probably.
It's very cool.
And my final question, when you went back to your country, did you feel any shock that compared to Europe, you're like, oh, I don't remember this?
Yeah. I had a reverse cultural shock going back to Algeria. Some things that had become very easy, like, seemed difficult sometimes when you go back. One simple example would be payments. Now, I'm used here to just go outside with my phone whenever I need to buy something. It passes by my mind, I go to the shop, I buy it with my phone. There, you need to have, like, money on in your pocket before. You need to, like, how do you say? Like, be prepared for anything you are willing to do. Before, transportation was a big thing. Like, I couldn't go outside without a car. If you want to go somewhere, meet friends or whatever, it takes a lot of time if you want to go with the bus or whatever. So you need to drive all the time. And yeah, and then you have the behavior of the people, which is
Mhm.
okay. I'm not getting into it, but it's very different from Europe.
Yeah. I think to add on this, because I felt this, but to add on this, which was really sad actually, was to see the people of our generation and how differently they viewed life
Mm.
from the Europeans of exactly the same age or the same generation. And that was actually something that I felt, and I was like, wow, we really come from a third world country. Because you can see, especially with the climate of the world and the country now, you can really see in some people's faces, even like just walking down the street and seeing them, you can see how they feel defeated.
Despair.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Not sad, not angry, defeated. It's like the whole weight of the world is on their shoulders, and you're like, I wish I could open your eyes, or I wish I could make you see things differently, but that's just how things are.
Yeah.
And that was like a big cultural shock.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, and another one is the queuing. I went from the UK to Algeria, and I was like, why is no one making queues? Why is no one? Where is the queue? Why is this like this? And yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Also, when you talk about that, like the youth of the country, I remember I left Algeria in August. I went through like a lot of countries in Europe, like 10 countries during that year, and then I come back in summer. And I go back through my neighborhood and I see some guys that are still sitting in the place I left them when I left the first time. And it hit me actually. I was like, last time when I was passing by here, before I leave, I saw this guy sitting here as well. He didn't move for a year. And I had been everywhere already. So it was like actually a good change of perspective about what's happening in the country as well.
And it's really sad because it's their golden age, it's their golden years, and it's a really sad thing for me, to be honest.
They're just wasted.
Yeah.
For me, I was about to fly back to Baku. I wasn't even in Baku when I got culture shock back. It's been a year. I'm very excited to go back to Baku. I'm in Istanbul airport. And there are so many nationalities there. Like everyone is trying to run for their gates and whatever. And then there was one guy. I was going to my gate. Like I was like 5 gates away from my own gate to Azerbaijan. And there was one guy calling me in Azerbaijan, salam, salam. And yeah, I said, salam. And how? I'm still questioning in my brain that how do you assume that I am Azerbaijani? Because like, what's in me that you see that okay, it's this guy is Azerbaijani. And do you go to Baku? Yeah, I say I go back to Baku. So he says that we have phone. Can you take it to Baku? I was like, I know that I'll be having some tax issues with that because if I take phone and also have my own phone which I bought from Europe. I was like, no, I can't take phone because I have phones on me. I can't take it. Okay, you can take perfume. I was like, no.
They're trying to, what is it called? Snuggle it, right?
Yeah, to cross the border with other people because you have the limit for each person.
Yeah.
So they are giving for random persons. So and then I said, no, I can't take it in a mild way. But he took it as an offense and like, okay. Thank you, brother. And at that point, I thought, okay, I'm going to Baku, yeah. And then I landed in Baku. I'm in the plane. I'm having still shocks. And there was one old guy, like 60s, staring at me like to my face. I am in the corridor of the cabin. And staring at me, I'm trying to look to another place. Like, don't look at him. Like, why this guy? And then he looked at me and like, are you the guy coming from Kishinev? I'm like, what? What's going on? I don't know. I'm not. You look very similar to him.
Why aren't you him?
He was also like young person like you. Okay. I have never had this kind of experience. Like even in the airplane, it was very different. Like I was just reminded after a year that okay, how talkative we are, in very weird situations.
It was similar for me as well, as Moncef mentioned, with like paying with card instead of like your mobile. Also, sometimes you need to have cash for taxi and stuff like that. And the other one was people are much warmer compared to Europe, and it started from like in the airplane. There was like a woman in like their 50s, and she would like every 10 minutes or so she would like talk with me about something random, and then in the end she was like, do you want my like meal? I don't want to have it. Do you want to have it? And then I went and the like flight landed, and in the airport, from the airport to the city center, like all the way, I was talking with the drivers.
I also want to add one thing. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same actually, because maybe I made it just sound like everything is negative, but actually, like, yeah, this is a good part about when you go back home. People are much warmer, they're friendlier sometimes. If you're not in a bad situation, they can be very helpful. Yeah.
But I want to add one thing for that. So we say that they are warmer and they're more talkative, but what I had when I was in Azerbaijan, I was traveling solo. One region in Azerbaijan, the city. It's the second biggest city in Azerbaijan, called Ganja. And I was just traveling around, and I want to take a picture. And I asked like 2 people in a row, and they rejected to take a picture of me. They just walked away. I didn't have this kind of experience in Europe. I don't remember having this. It was very weird. Either they are like talkative, warmer, but sometimes they could be very weird at the same time. But I didn't have any problems with the cards because I just pay with Apple Pay.
I haven't had that problem, but I think the negative side of like this warmth is like sometimes the privacy is a bit like problematic.
That's
so
true.
if you're like a person that doesn't want to talk a lot about their like personal life and stuff, that could be a bit problematic. But in general, I think it's a very cool thing.
But I think that this problem like occurs when you get into something that is weird for the people there. It's not common for them, like in Europe, to ask someone to take a picture of you. For us, that never happened to me in Algeria. Nobody asks that. So it would be weird if I go to someone and ask him to take a picture of me.
But what do you do when you want to take a picture and you don't have like another?
No one is alone, for example.
That's what I'm saying. For us, it's not in Europe. It's a very normal thing, but back home, some things are maybe weird. That's why people will act weirdly about them.
Yeah, in Baku, if you ask, of course, it's very easy probably, but I don't know. Like,
especially you say that happened to you in the countryside, so that makes
it's
sense.
not countryside.
I mean, your second biggest city is a small city.
Actually, it was big city, but the population is like a countryside population. So they are not like Baku. Baku is another country. Like that's why maybe the comparison with that way is true. But it's not a small city. It's a very big city. I heard that you only have 3 traffic lights in Algiers. Do you like this independence in traffic?
Oh my god. Why did I talk to you guys about this?
It's good. You have independence. It's liberal traffic.
Yes, we are free in Algeria. I drive...
I'll put this part on the reels.
I drive my car however I want in Algeria. There's no stupid lights to tell me what to do. I do what I want. No, actually, yes. It's a very weird thing coming to Europe. I think our country is in quite a unique situation regarding this. We basically just drive without traffic lights.
Free speech, but not free traffic. How dare
Europe? I'm scared about this free speech part.
I think it's the reverse for us.
Yeah. But it's very different. Like you have to just drive with your instincts, just not to die, and that's it.
How do you feel like as a pedestrian on the roads, or?
As a pedestrian, he knows she doesn't drive in Algeria.
Yeah, I don't drive.
I know that.
I go with the same principle, free will.
Really? How is it for pedestrians?
Huh?
How is it for pedestrians?
You cross and pray.
Yeah. Actually, yes.
It's literally like that, because you never know when a car might hit you. And I think it's like a common agreement. The pedestrians and the cars both know that at any point a pedestrian can come to the road and a car can come to you, and we just coexist.
And they both hate each other. When I'm driving, I hate pedestrians. When I'm a pedestrian, I hate drivers.
We have this as well. Yeah.
One thing I haven't got used to in Europe regarding traffic is the cars are very conservative. Even if there's no lights or anything, they see a pedestrian from a distance and they're like stopping.
Man,
that's very interesting.
That was a culture shock going back home. Like when you're on going to cross. Like it's a daredevil thing. You need to like you fight the driver. Is he gonna stop? You need to throw yourself and dare him to stop.
Yes.
Like you're like, hit me. Some people are like, hit me. Come on, hit me. It's not gonna happen.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
But sometimes in a bit far from the city center in Baku, if even there is a traffic light, they don't check it. They just drive. Sometimes it was about to hit me like once when I was just crossing the road, like, but it doesn't happen frequently. But sometimes there are some crazy people that do it. They don't care about the traffic lights if there is no camera. They know that there is a camera there. If there is no camera, they just drive ahead.
For us, there's no monitoring. Like when someone sees you about to cross, they speed up. Actually, actually, I'm not kidding.
Is that what you do?
Kill without pain. Okay. Anything to add?
No, that's it.
Okay. Before coming to Europe, you were thinking that baklava and burek is Algerian national dishes.
Man,
And
I
what do you think
remember.
now?
Can we have a reenactment of the moment you
No,
realized?
but that was crazy. The
He was
realization-
jumping from the sofa. I remember. No way. No.
Oh my
I was
god.
trying to fight everybody off. It was like, how many were we? 10, 12. I was like, no, it's ours. Baklava is Algerian. Baklava, we call it baklava. Burak. What else? Shorba.
Yeah.
Sure.
All of it is ours.
When you opened the baklava and it was ours, and he was like, "No way,
Yeah,
no way,
Yeah.
burek is not ours."
Actually, it happened with
Baklava.
my brother lately. You remember when we were in Poland lately and I posted a picture in the Azerbaijani restaurant
yeah.
and there was burek there. He answered, he was like, what? They have burek? They stole it from us. I was like, oh boy, you don't know what's waiting for you when you come to Europe.
Baklava thing was in UK, right? Or in France?
No, in
France,
France.
I
In
think.
France.
I got baklava from my relative from Strasbourg. I went to Strasbourg, came back. It was just a few of them, and I just shared with them.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Mhm.
How the baklava tastes like.
Oh, yeah.
Azerbaijani one.
Yeah,
And
very
I
well
also
for that.
tasted Algerian baklava when you came
Yeah.
back from Algeria.
Which is the best baklava, of course.
But it was very similar with the Azerbaijani. Which
No,
actually
Yeah, the
surprised
shape
me.
is the same.
The shape is the same for all of them, but I think everybody makes it different.
I think.
Oh yeah, I remember
Do
yours
you
was
say
drier.
yeah?
Yeah.
Do you say sharbat like
Uh-huh,
that?
yeah.
Come on, man,
Okay.
not in the podcast.
Sharbat is more in your. I think it makes it not dry. Like it's like a bit.
Yeah.
More with more
Yeah, but
sharbat.
you make
We don't do
for
it with
us-
sharbat.
No, but for us it's asila, like
Asila as
ma'asal.
well. We do
But
have
they
sherbet.
call it sherbat.
No, we have sherbet as well. I don't know
Sherbet
if we put
is
it
the
in.
juice.
It's like a
Yeah,
syrup
but some,
thing, yeah.
we use
juice.
sherbet in some
Okay.
cakes.
No, but
and
you
things.
add
Yeah,
to
yeah.
baklava. I
You don't
think,
do that, right?
We don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
but
do
for
it.
us
We
we
just
do that.
oven it and then it.
But wait,
that's
what
why
is
it's
sherbet
dry.
for you guys?
It's like a syrup that you add to it.
Yeah.
Lemon syrup, right?
Not lemon.
Not
It's
lemon.
actually sweet.
Syrup.
It's
As-
sweet.
like
But for
asila.
us, sherbet is.
Sherbet
made
It's
of-
is
mostly
the juice,
sugar,
yeah.
like
Okay.
sugar, water, and some
Okay.
other
Yeah.
elements.
Okay,
But for us, sherbat, we call it for juice.
We have a drink
Mhm.
like
It's
Yeah,
like a
specific
drink
we
Yeah,
do
that
as
is
well.
have that as well, I
sherbet,
think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Coming to the. Do you want to add anything about your? You were thinking that,
Yeah.
especially you.
Basically.
I think you didn't think like that way, right? Did you?
She's
no,
more
no.
You
open
knew
I
it
minded.
wasn't-
probably.
I wasn't that surprised because I knew about burek. Like
Mhm.
everyone had burek, but I was more aware of the historical context of the Ottoman Empire, so I knew that we would have a lot of similarities.
I think she's more open-minded than I am. I am a guy that never left his city. Like she has seen some stuff before. I was so shocked. But
What-
yeah, so it's either that it's ours or ours is the best.
That's your new theory behind it.
Yes.
Okay, what do you think about Azerbaijani food that you had in Warsaw?
It was very good. I mean, some things are like odd for me,
Mm-hmm.
but
For example?
there is sometimes like some, how do you say, like
Spices.
spices, I think, yeah, that give it some kind of lemonish, not lemonish, like, how do you say it, like acidic flavors in some things.
Like sour.
Sour sometimes.
Okay.
That is kind of odd for me,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very good overall. I like it.
We'll talk about it later with you guys, with you two, when you go after the Azerbaijani restaurant experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so coming to the last question. When are you going to invite us to Algeria?
man.
I invited you last year. You guys
Yeah.
are welcome to come
Come,
whenever
yeah.
you
They
want.
cannot come. You know they cannot come.
No, but they are welcome to come.
They are. You are welcome. Of course you are welcome. But you cannot.
All words.
Yes, you cannot come. It's not up to me.
No.
How are you getting? I think our visa is one of the hardest to get
Yes.
in the world.
Yeah,
Literally.
but you guys are welcome, and we can facilitate your coming.
No, if
with
you'd come, it
getting
would
the
be
visa
very
and
cool.
everything.
Yeah, I think so.
But don't expect a lot. I mean, with our context, we've seen a lot of countries, but don't expect any like touristic.
Oh, but I think if
It's gonna be a very authentic
National
country
guys
visit.
taking way.
No,
Yeah.
but I think if you go like to, if you come to Algeria,
No,
the
I
best
don't
part is
mean-
not the cities. You're not gonna come for the cities. You go for nature. If you go to the Sahara, it's crazy. It's like a
But we
different
don't
planet.
have the infrastructure. So what I'm saying is, don't
Oh.
expect
Yeah.
good transportation system or like good touristic infrastructure or people understanding English. those things are.
But it's more authentic. You're
it's
gonna
very
be immersed in
authentic,
the thing. Like Janet literally looks like Mars, like
Yeah.
the planet Mars. It's crazy.
It's beautiful.
It's completely real.
How do you call it?
Janet.
Hmm.
Yeah, that would be really cool if you could come. But
Mhm.
it's up to the consulate, not to us.
Coming to an end.
So we come to the end of the episode. Thank you very much for joining us and
Thank you,
talking
guys.
about
Thank you,
a
That
lot of
was very
stuff.
interesting.
Yeah.
You can listen to our podcast on any platform that you listen to your other podcasts, including Spotify, YouTube, and Castbox. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.